Hey y'all, I'm back, and today I'm going to be working on my second bottle in my series of old school tattoo inspired miniature antique theme bottles. Some of them are antique or vintage bottles. Some of the bottles are not antique that I'm using. I finished one that was not an antique bottle. This one that I'm going to be working on is, it's like really on the borderline of antique, I think, because it's probably between the 1950s and the 1930s when it was made. And this is the bottle right here, okay? I'm Lonnie. I'm right here in Texas today, in Weatherford, Texas, and it's been quite an interesting day. So I'm excited about doing some art because it's just one of the most amazing feelings to create something, to dream something up that comes from a special place inside, I think, that God gifts you with, and just to see it come to fruition. So this is the bottle that I'm going to be using. I have already done the label on this bottle. I might have posted a video on it. I'm not really sure. But this bottle is from, like I said, between the probably 15 to 1930s. This would have been something that you would have picked up at a pharmacy. And you would have been getting some type of syrup for maybe your infant or your child. The brand is Lyric, and I really just love so many things about this bottle. I don't know if I can capture it. I'm gonna change the lighting a little and see, depending on the lighting, but there's some numbers on the side, and they're embossed, and it's like a 1, 2, 3 situation for 1, 2, 3 milliliters. And they kind of have a little circle right here and some swirling that goes on the bottle. It's not as easy to capture without just seeing it just straight on. And I also, I'm not a big professional yet at this, so I don't have a like a real special light situation to use. So I'm just doing my best with what I got here. Okay, but that's kind of some of the things I like about it. It has this measurements on the side, and it has some embossing. And this would have been a screw cap bottle, which lets me know, and also I did some research on it, but whenever they had a lid that screwed on originally, that means that they were probably 1900s or later. Some of the ones that were cork, or they might have had a glass seal lid of some type, a lot of those are usually from the 1800s or earlier. So it's still got a lot of beauty to it and a lot to be excited about. And I have put a cork in it because I'm going to be doing some different things around it. You're not even probably going to know that it was someone that didn't really know much about bottles. They wouldn't know that this had a screw-on lid at one point. Okay, so far I have got my cutout right here of the design that I really like. It's a Victorian looking hand, and it's got a heart inside. It kind of has this doily looking, or I don't know, ribbon kind of gathered around, and it kind of looks like she's wearing a glove, and it's just really beautiful, and it takes me back to an era that I wish I lived in, because there were just so many beautiful things about the Victorian era, and that might have been, sometime in the 1800s. And so you can just see it a little bit closer, and I just love that so much. I think that's so beautiful. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about my process right now. Sometimes I can get so manic just getting ready to do some type of art. I can get so wrapped up in like every little single detail and then I get super distracted because I get into one thing, and then oh my gosh, it's just like 5 or 10 other things will really distract me. Like, for instance, I was looking for these certain ribbons. There's a special color I wanted to incorporate in this. It's like a wild card color to me. It's this peacock green. And I did not know what I did with this ribbon. And I had been organizing all my art supplies maybe in the last 24 hours. And I had forgotten that I left a box with about 5 or 6 ribbons in it that weren't like sealed off, taped off, or glued off at the end. And so they were kind of like, you know, just hanging. And then when you start putting ribbon away that way, it just starts getting all tangled together and it gets to be like super crazy. And that really freaks me out. So I had it in a different box, and I kept on going through all my boxes of ribbon over and over, and I couldn't find this color. And I was so in distress over this little tiny ribbon right here. I don't even know I'm going to use or not yet. I have no idea. Then it got me going, and I realized I had got these special ribbons. This white one, and it's kind of like it's got this wavy design to it, and it's really small. So I was like, that might be pretty. And I thought, I didn't find that one either. What the heck? And this one right here is black, and it's got a really cool design. Do you see how it's kind of squiggly and it's thin? That's a couple different layers. That's not like one thick piece. And I thought, it's called small gimp trim, whatever that means. I thought, I was like in a mental state of psychosis kind of at that point. So I'm going around, I'm just like I kind of like get a little box together, and I put all the little things in the box out of my art supplies that I think I'm going to use for this one project. One project. I'm not doing multiple projects at once. I just want to focus on this one thing. So I was getting my stuff together, and first I was using a tray. So I was like using this little tray here. I found this tray. It's like a 4-way tray. I was like, that'll be kind of cool for doing some projects. Oh yeah, I put some toothpicks in it because I was like, maybe I'm gonna need those to swirl some colors around or something that was going on in my head. And then I was like, I'll just put them in a little craft bag. Okay, I gotta get some of my little craft bags out. And you know, on and on it went. So I was stacking stuff on this, and then obviously this isn't very big. So then that just started to grow. And then that grew. And then it was this here, okay? This little one with the handle, okay? I just dropped something on the floor. Let me grab it. Then you know, I had that box that I told you about with the ribbon that was like not put upright. So then I kind of like went and put up the ribbon that was right, that I taped. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have this box. I'm gonna need this box. So I kept this box in here, and it has like there's these 3 ribbons, and then there's these 3 ribbons that are possibilities, and a clear kind of lure that I might use, okay, to put on some embellishments or some charms. And I have my little tweezers on here. They always seem to fit better on like the edge of a box that I'm using. And so I got this box. Well, also I have this little jar because I like to have little jars to put some of my tools in. I found this at Michael's the other day. I was so excited. My vision's been going a little downhill the last year or two, and so I kept looking at the bottom of it where the price was. It was in US and Canadian, and it was saying $199, but it was like 40% off or something. And I kept looking. I was like, I don't know if I'm reading that right. Is that $11.99? Is that really $4.99? I just kept looking closer and closer, and I was like, just trying to see, because these are not prescription glasses. I need to get prescription glasses. I do have insurance, but what's crazy is you could even be working a job where you make, you know, almost 60 grand a year, but after taxes, savings for your retirement, and then also after paying for insurance for your child and all that jazz, you could have insurance, vision, dental, medical, and after paying all your bills and just a little extra, doing a little extra, but not going crazy. It could be really hard to even afford to use your insurance. Like right now, my next goal is to get a tooth pulled that's cracked. I'm getting off track, but it's going to cost me $800 almost to ensure I don't get, I don't know what you call it, dry socket. I'm real prone to getting dry socket, and I don't want to feel like someone's stabbing me in my brain and in my, like right here in my jaw for a week or two, and where I want to just die or kill myself. So I'm going to get the procedure done a certain way so that I won't get dry socket. So then after that, I got to get some partials. That's going to be another $1,500. So after that, then maybe I can get to the point where I can work on getting some glasses that are prescription glasses and contacts. So for now, I'm just doing the best I can with some Dollar Tree, some different variations of these glasses that you get. So I got my little scissors. I got a couple little jewel tools in here. These are just like scoopers or like little scrapers. And they have these little jewels on the end. I have these little scissors because sometimes those are easier to cut certain ribbons at the end, the edges, the way that I like them to be cut. This doesn't fit a lot. I mean, this would be more, maybe cuter for like a vase to put like a couple flowers in, like some little flowers. But it's also cute for a couple tools. So I got that going. I mean, I haven't even started on this whole situation on this project that I'm telling you about. But then I was like, oh, I gotta bring this tray in because I have a lot of old trays like this. These silver plated ones, and I'm like, oh yeah, it would be really cool to, you know, do my little steps inside this tray. So I brought the tray in. This is just a little glass from maybe, I don't know, the 30s. And I was like, okay, it's empty. I'm not using it right now. I took some scraps out of it. I'm sure there's something I'm going to open up. I could use this to pour it in after to store it easier. Okay, so before I get started on the project, I just feel like I'm in this place in my life right now where I went through a season where I sold a lot of art. I made a lot of art. I sold a lot of art. So many different types of art. It was really thrilling to see that I could become a paid artist and that people wanted my work. And then I began to do art with my younger daughter. Well, my older daughter too, but not as long. My younger daughter, she was selling art. She would make stuff, and I just would really do it just so that we could spend time together. My goal and mission was, yeah, I needed to make some money at that time in life, but I knew if it was something that she would like to do with me, and she got to pick supplies that she really thought were cool or that she gravitated toward, then she would be engaged in it with me to some extent, and then that would be like an open door for us to have quality time together, because a lot of kids just want to go out with their friends and they just can be too busy and distant doing other things, and parents just don't have that time with their kids. And I really wanted to have that time with my youngest one, because I just thought she's going to get to a point where what if she gets to that point she doesn't want to have that time with me anymore. So that was a gift. Art was a gift in that way. And art was a gift through COVID, because it was a gift that kept me going through a lot of challenges. But this scripture's made, now I'm at the point where I feel like that God is wanting me to use my art to be a blessing to other people. And so I have given a lot of art away that I've made. And then I felt it was for someone individually that I gifted it to them. I did recently get a commission piece that I'm going to get paid for, but I think that money's just going to go back into the pot because there's just more work to do. And I'm at a place where I want to share art with others, and I want to do it with God's love because He's the ultimate creator. He created the heavens and the earth. He created you and I, and He said that it was good. He made us, and He decided that what I made is good. What I made is beautiful, amazing, unique, one of a kind. And so I wanted to read the scripture that He was bringing to mind for me. I couldn't figure out which one it was at first, so I was like really having to do a lot of searching. But I don't know if anybody that's watching this has ever gone to like a horse race. But when I was young, my mom took me to she took me to the horse races, and it was in California. We lived in California. Santa Anita racetrack. It's a very famous racetrack. And I got to play hooky for the day, and we went and we bet on the horses, and she was like, okay, we both get this certain amount of money, and whatever we win, if you win or I win, then we'll just split it. And she showed me how to do like trifectas, and oh my gosh, it was really an exciting time. I never been to the horse races before. That was so cool. And to get to skip school to go do that or whatever. I'm sure she probably told me I was sick or something, but whatever. But some things you can observe at the horse races is right before the horses are going to go for that round. Okay, there's multiple races. So I don't know how many, but let's just pretend there's 10 that day. And all the horses start to get in their little stalls. There's like all these stalls. And it starts to get kind of rowdy, you know. It starts to get kind of rowdy. It starts to get a bit noisy, and they're getting in there, and the jockeys are on the horses, and you can start to feel like the nervousness and the excitement, like the horses, the jockeys, the crowd. You know, it's just this thing, this stirring of emotions that's going on, and the environment's kind of shifting. And so these horses, you know, they have these really light jockeys on them. They're all pretty lightweight. I think that's so they can go faster. You know, and they got their saddle, and they got their bit and bridle, or I don't even know what all the parts are called. And in the mouth, you know, and they got they got all the parts, you know, the moving parts. But the one thing that they do have that's interesting is the little the blinders right here. They kind of look like similar to like well, you know, if you were a pirate and you had a patch, but I think they're a little more heavy duty, but they have them like one on each eye right here, like on the side of their eyes. And I don't know what those were for, really. When I was young, I don't really know at what point I learned what those were for, but once I began to get further into my walk with God, at some point there were some scriptures that I heard that was related to that. And this one scripture right here is in Proverbs 4, and it's about staying focused. I think it's about staying focused in the race of life. Mentally, in my mind, is what I'm thinking. And it says, "My son, attend to my words, and incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those who find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Put away from thee a froward mouth. That is like, attitude, indifferent. You just don't need to go there. You could just be more peaceable. And perverse lips far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, like straight ahead. Let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Maybe that means you're just not looking down with your eyelids. You're just not like looking up. You're just like straight ahead focused. And ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. And so the way this related to me was really, it took me so long, and it does take me so long sometimes just to get prepared, just to do one project, one little art project. It's not little to me. It means a lot to me. By the time it's done, it's really special. But I've had some that were just like, okay, this one was like, this one didn't go right. This was a nail. This was a nail deal. I don't know what you want to call it, but this is just reminding me the blinders are so that the horses don't get distracted by the horse on the left and to the left or to the right of them. It's also for the safety of the jockeys, because if they do, they could run into each other, and they could even hurt each other to the point where they have to put that horse down, or the jockey could get injured too. He could get trampled by the horses. He could get killed. So it's for their safety, and it's so that they can stay focused straight ahead on the race. And I feel like in our life, we can get so distracted by so many things. I mean, I have so many art supplies that, I can get really distracted just looking for the things that I am inspired by this bottle to use, that I might put on it. There's a lot. I might need this super glue for some embellishments. I might decide to use some of this mica powder. There's a silver one that's a possibility. Okay, now I also got these doilies because there's something special about the trim of these doilies, and I was like, there might be a little spot where I might want to use those somewhere. I do not know. This is a type of powder that is like really iridescent, and I might go for this inside, or maybe shimmering on the outside of the bottle as I knock it over. Also, I wanted to have some water because I get thirsty while I'm doing projects. Then I got this thing at Five Below recently. It's like some little ice thing, and you can put it on your face, and then you can, wipe your face if you're like getting all out there. And I have eczema, so. And then I like cherry sours, so I put my little cherry sours out. Then I got this huge tape for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. That's no longer a Dollar Tree, it's $1.25 tree. It's like super thick. I needed some clear tape. It's like double the size of the one that I used to be able to get, and I was like, yes. So I'm like, I need that, because when I use ribbon, I like to tape it back off right away if I can, so it's easier to put up. Then I have this sequins. This is really old sequins. You might find something similar now, but I promise you it's not the same. This is from my friend Lorraine, and her mom was an artist, and her mom was really crafty, and Lorraine lived right next to her mom's house, and her mom's house got burned down after her mom died. There was a fire, and then it got looted, and then the city eventually, they wanted to tear it down. And so one day she called me and she said that there were some craft supplies there, and she knew I love doing different art projects, and she asked if I wanted them. There was a few things she thought I might like, so they just wouldn't go to the trash. And she gave me this, probably about 100 of these. All these little different circular packages, and then some were in these little thin tubes with these corks on top, and then some were beads, and some were sequins, and some were in little Tic Tac, plastic Tic Tac containers. I mean, I've used them on different projects, just different various ones, and I'm just so grateful. I mean, every color of the rainbow that you could think of too, you know. God is so good. And it makes me feel special because it makes me feel like I'm using something that's a part of her, like someone she loved. And so that's just like a real gift for me. Also, okay, these I got recently because I'm like, I might want to embellish with one of these little cameos. I just thought, oh, that'll just be perfect hanging from this bottle. Maybe. So, I got these Metal Gallery half price at Hobby Lobby yesterday when I was there. No. Hobby Lobby this weekend when I was there with a friend of mine. Okay, then I got these embellishments. These ones I think I just got yesterday at Hobby Lobby when I was there with my daughter. These are like little iridescent hearts. I think they're iridescent hearts. At the time I thought they were just like jewels, but I was already committed to them and I just decided to go for them. Okay, I'm going to stop the video and restart it because it's getting kind of long and I don't want it to be too long that it won't upload. Okay, BRB for part 2.